Welcome back to Gold Derby. We are here today to talk about our final SAG Award predictions for who we think is going to win on the TV side. The ceremony is Saturday, February 24th on Netflix. I'm Marcus James Dixon. I am here with Ray Richmond, Daniel Montgomery, Denton Davidson, and a special guest star, Tariq Khan. And, usually the SAG Awards there's a lot of surprises that could happen. Personally speaking, with my own predictions, I'm picking the Emmy winners, the Golden Globe winners, the Critics' Choice winners. We've seen the same people win week after week after week leading up to the SAG Awards. So I don't think there's going to be a lot of surprises. I could be wrong. Tariq, I want to start with you. Let's start with drama ensemble, actor, and actress. The Emmy winners were Succession for drama series, Kieran Culkin, and Sarah Snook. Are you going with those same trio?
Yeah. Yes, Succession and Kieran Culkin, most likely, unless that Succession split helps Pedro Pascal, but it hasn't so far. But probably. But for best TV drama actress, I think watch out for Jennifer Aniston. I mean, she is a television icon. She's beloved. People still watch Friends. She is so popular for that show. And keep in mind the death of Matthew Perry. That is still on SAG voters' minds. And the chance to honor Jennifer Aniston and see her get up on stage and pay tribute to Matthew Perry, which she will. That's a moment that SAG voters may not be able to resist. I mean, they are very sentimental. They're emotional. So watch out for Jennifer Aniston to be perhaps the big TV shock of the night if she can overcome Sarah Snook.
Yeah, and she won 3 years ago, too, for the morning show. So it's very possible.
4 years ago she won? Is that right? Okay. Yeah, but she won. She won. Right.
And Ray, what about you? What are your three drama picks? I forgot to mention, in case anyone doesn't know, SAG combines leads and supporting. So I mentioned Kieran Culkin won this category, but Matthew Macfadyen also won, and he's nominated here against Kieran. So I don't know if that affects you at all.
I think they should arm wrestle for it. It's impossible to vote against Succession on its farewell tour. It's winning everything on its farewell tour after the Oscar, the Emmys and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
I think Kieran noses out Matthew Macfadyen here, and I see this as completely a two-way race. It could go either way. And in terms of actress, I think Sarah Snook. Although I certainly give credence to what Tariq's saying about Jennifer Aniston and how Matthew Perry's death could make everybody feel like it's time to honor Jennifer. I think she's also generally just a beloved figure in the Guild as well. Mm-hmm. And just the personality aspect of this you can never minimize.
Daniel, what are your drama picks?
Succession for ensemble pretty easily, I think, and I've got Kieran Culkin for actor. I've been predicting Pedro Pascal the whole time. I've been burned every single time. The vote split has not materialized, and every time it's Kieran Culkin, the less likely a vote split will happen because every group is looking at every other group and saying, "Oh, well, it's Kieran Culkin." So it makes it much easier to vote for him and to consolidate support around him. So I'm going to go with Kieran Culkin. And I do agree that Sarah Snook is vulnerable. I'm going with her, but we've seen her lose this award even when she has not had a vote split. So she's not necessarily a sure thing to go along for the ride, but she has everywhere else. For the first time in the show's run, she's won everything. So I'm just going to assume that this is going to be part of it, but I do agree with Tariq that Jennifer Aniston sentiment behind her is strong. The fact that SAG Awards are stubborn when it comes to just like repeating winners, and she's won this before for the morning show, so she could certainly come back and win it again. But yeah, so it's Snook with Aniston second.
And Denton.
Yeah, I think one of the laziest voting bodies is SAG Awards for television. They just repeat and repeat and repeat. And I think the obvious choices are Succession across the board. I was with Daniel. I had Pedro Pascal until like yesterday when I was updating my predictions, and I'm like, I've been riding this bicycle and the wheels have fallen off. Like this just isn't going to happen anymore, despite there being three actors in there. But I do agree again with Tariq. Jennifer Aniston is right in this race. I mean, look at Billy Crudup. They also love him. He's back for the morning show. It's up for TV Ensemble. I have it in second place there. The morning show is definitely a threat and something those SAG voters love. And there's so many respected SAG actors in that show. I mean, you got Reese Witherspoon and Juliana Margulies. I mean, isn't she like some sort of SAG record holder? So there's definitely love for the morning show.
By the way, I love counting up the ensemble nominees to see how many people are actually eligible for the cast. The Gilded Age has by far the most, 34. And we've seen in the past, not always, but if like a Boardwalk Empire or a Orange is the New Black or Downton Abbey, and you have the most people, sometimes that helps you. But Succession has the second most amount, 18, and then The Crown with 15, The Morning Show with 14, and The Last of Us with 2. That tied the record with Key and Peele having a two-person ensemble.
Honestly, The Crown wouldn't even shock me. I mean, that's that when I think of SAG, like that wouldn't surprise me either. Just seeing them go back to that.
It is the final season of The Crown, just like it's the final season of Succession.
I wanted to say one last thing about Jennifer Aniston, though. You know, I kept going with Christina Applegate for maybe similar, reasons of sentiment because of her condition, the fact it's her last go around. And I kept getting burned whenever I picked her. So it's hard for me to go to Jennifer.
I think a lot of times we over assume feelings that people care
This is
about.
Hollywood. We think there are feelings.
Nobody cares about anyone.
Literally, these awards, these exact
Nobody
awards
cares
are
about anyone.
Denton
Davidson.
Are about who can fake their feelings the best in a given role.
These are actors. Of course, they're going to pretend sentiment. Never mind.
Moving over to comedy, I just want to mention the cast members. How many people for each show? We have Ted Lasso 20, and then Only Murders 15, The Bear 13, Barry 11, Abbott Elementary only 7. So as we all know, The Bear won everything leading up to the SAG Awards, the Emmy, the Golden Globe, the Critics' Choice.
But it won the Emmy for season 1, and now we're season 2.
And this is season 2. And then Jeremy Allen White. These are my picks. I have The Bear winning comedy ensemble, Jeremy Allen White winning TV comedy actor, and Ayo Edebiri winning TV comedy actress. Does anyone have something different or think maybe there's a possibility we could see an upset?
No, this is Jeremy's second. This will be his second in a row. Ayo is just on a binge here and doesn't seem to be able to lose. And it seems to mystify even her. Although she's great. And The Bear, all anyone has to do is see the Fishes episode from the second season, and that would, to my mind, convince them that comedy ensemble should go in that direction. Although, again, I'll say it for the 95th time, it's not really a comedy. We're still pretending it's a comedy.
I don't know if The Bear is going to lose an award for the next 2 years.
So you've got all those 3 winning, Denton.
Yeah, I think this is going to be very boring.
No goodbye hug for Ted Lasso?
I mean, never say never, but I mean, The Bear has been on such a hot streak. The Emmys didn't care, and I don't know. I just think The Bear is what everyone is talking about now.
More of a goodbye kick in the balls, I would say.
And Daniel, what about you?
The Bear. Yeah, I got those same 3. I think Ayo would be the most vulnerable had the nominations gone differently. Like had they put in Meryl Streep, being Meryl Streep in having her stature as an actor and knowing that SAG in particular likes to name check their TV actors. you know, she could have given Io a run for her money, but they didn't nominate her. And, you know, just looking at the rest of the list, I don't see Hannah Watton doing it. I don't see Quinta Brunson doing it. You've got two Maisel actors that even if there was just one, I wouldn't see them doing it. And there are two of them, so they can cancel each other out anyway. So yeah, I think Io wins that one too, but yeah, I sort of agree with that. And the Bears not losing anything for a while. I don't think Jeremy Allen White has lost a nomination for the Bear since that show started.
No.
It's just been him all the way. Even you know, season one, everything that the show's winning was centered around him. I think he's kind of winning this in a walk. He's and he's going to win the Emmy again in season two.
It's already set up like dominoes.
Yeah. The one thing Jeremy lost last year was the ensemble award for the Bear, which went to Abbott Elementary, but that was not an individual. So he still won the individual. So Tariq, the SAG always repeats, why won't Abbott Elementary win 2 in a row?
Well, actually, I think a lot of SAG voters don't watch all the shows, and the Bear is just so popular. Even voters who don't watch the Bear know about it. So I think it's just easy name checking across the board at this point. They know that Abbott Elementary has been honored before, so the Bear is just in everyone's mind. It's being talked about so much. So I think it's a names check and wins all 3 awards.
All right, so let's move on to the TV limited movie actor and actress. And once again, I say this every year, there should be an ensemble as well. I don't know why they don't have that, especially now that they're on Netflix. They don't have to fit into a specific 2-hour time period. They can add some extra categories. Just an idea, Netflix, if you're watching.
Be another award for Beef.
Yeah, Beef would win 3 instead of 2. Do we all have Stephen Yeun and Ali Wong winning?
Yeah.
I'm bored. I'm sorry to our audience.
It is boring, but I will say,
you.
like, I do have in second place for actress Uzo Aduba is really loved. You know, people didn't think, I don't think she was expected to even be nominated for this, but
she's so good. She's so good in that.
He's got a strong fan base, and people within the guild really do like her. So I have Uzo actually in second place.
Okay. I also wanted to say that I was thrilled to see Bel Powley nominated for A Small Light. Probably the best performance of anyone in anything this year. And the Emmys all but ignored a Small Light. So I was glad to see that. I don't think she has a chance of winning, unfortunately, despite how great she was. Yeah, this is beef across the board. Although stunt ensemble, it's going to be, that's an interesting one. I'm not positive that Beef has that. Does everybody have Beef for that?
I did want to add one thing. I love that John Hamm is up for Fargo, but Juno Temple should be up for actress. I don't know why she's not. I feel like that is a huge omission because she was absolutely fantastic in Fargo. Okay, yeah, stunt ensemble. The Last of Us, The Mandalorian, Ahsoka, Beef, and Barry. Ray, what were you picking?
I was thinking The Last of Us could, if it was going to get anything, could steal this one. When I think of stunts, I mean, most of the stunts I think in Beef were probably you know, in the last couple episodes where everything went off the rails. But this one, I think, you know, this one's a very tough one to pick. I don't think it's automatically Beef.
Keep in mind The Last of Us won, was it 8 Emmy Awards at the Creative Arts? So there is some love for this zombie show, Daniel.
Yeah, I think this is the only place where I'm not predicting a complete sweep for everything. So I'm going with The Last of Us here. They loved the show enough to nominate 2 actors for best drama ensemble. So I think I think they'll vote for The Last of Us here. It's you know, you've got 2 Star Wars shows that are very stunty, but you know, again, there are 2 of them. I'm not sure one of them will consolidate enough support. You know, Barry and Beef, I don't know, like, has a comedy. Glow has won this, I think. So comedies aren't out of it, but I think Last of Us feels the stuntiest. That's my scientific analysis. Is it feels the stuntiest.
I have the list of stunt TV winners. Stranger Things, Squid Game, The Mandalorian did win this.
Hmm.
Glow, you're right, and then Game of Thrones. Many, many times for Game of Thrones. And who hasn't piped in? Denton?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with The Last of Us. It just seems like the most watched of these, and the one that they want to award the most, with the stuntiest vibe, like Daniel said, that scientific word. Mandalorian I have in second. And then Beef and Barry and Ahsoka. I just don't know how many people are watching and awards voters are paying attention to Ahsoka and all these variations of Marvel and Star Wars and everything else that we're being bombarded with on streaming television constantly. It's like you can't keep up with the next one. So I think
Mhm.
you look at this list and The Last of Us really stands out as the zombie movie and the one that we watched. So I can't imagine The Last of Us losing this.
Tariq, can you imagine The Last of Us losing this?
Well, first of all, I'm afraid that I've not had time to focus on any SAG TV polling. I've been so focused on film, so I'm afraid I have no good guidance here. But I'll just follow what Denton and Marcus had to say about The Last of Us. Seems like the best place. It's the most seems like the most obvious choice here. So I'll go with The Last of Us, but I'm prepared to be wrong.
I will say if there's an upset, I'm looking at Barry here because it is kind of the apple in the barrel of oranges, as we often say at Gold Derby. And Barry has won the Emmy for Best Stunt Coordination for a comedy series or variety program 2 years in a row. And I imagine there's some similar voters that voted for that category and vote for the SAG Awards. So I may put that in my second place just in case something happens. But I think you're all right that it's going to be the zombie show, The Last of Us, which is so much more than zombies. It's about family and friendship and all of that great stuff.
And pretending to be dead is always a great stunt, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And,
It
and
definitely
aren't
has
feelings the
most.
greatest stunt of all?
I the stunt categories always get handed out at the red carpet show before the ceremony, which I think is kind of a
Makes them feel very
slight.
special.
I think they should put those in the actual ceremony itself.
This whole TV lineup is kind of a downer. It's like we've seen all of this so many,
Been there, done that.
especially since like the Emmys and the Golden Globes all just happened with the strike delay, and it's just like, all right, enough already.
The good
Yeah, I
news
think
is
this is the first time I'm predicting sweeps across the board like I am. I don't think I've ever done that at the SAG Awards, where it just feels like, okay, everyone's just going to say Succession, everyone's just going to say The Bear, everyone's just going to say Beef.
yeah.
You know, it's just one of those years potentially. I wouldn't be surprised if we have a lot of 100% on TV, unless
Yeah.
they throw some huge curveballs, which I kind of would welcome.
Yeah,
I would love to see that. I don't see it coming though.
And the good news is, I mean, Succession and The Crown are over. So next year we will have new drama series winners. And next year The Bear is probably going to win everything again on the comedy side. Well, thank you everyone for watching. Be sure to update your predictions at Gold Derby before Saturday, February 24th. And you can also predict other things like the Guild Awards and the box office and the Billboard charts and all of that fun stuff. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.